I'd like to talk to you today about lockdown. When I tell you to lock down, and today's story is going to involve tornadoes. Before we continue, if you're new, hit that like, share, you know, subscribe if you're new. Anyway, they'll tell you lock down for many different reasons. It could be fights, it could be because yard's over, wrecks over, stabbings. So if you're on the yard and the yard's over, just ends. They say return to your housing units, lock down. Or if you're in a wing, lock down. It was weird because in Farmington they always said the same thing. To me, it was the same thing twice. They'd say lock and secure your door. Well, if you go in and you pull your door shut, so that locks, it's secure. So never understood why they had to say it twice. And like I said, if something happens, they get. It's not just like them saying it. There's like a tone in their voice, and they want you to hurry up. They don't want you. They'll now, lock down now. So one day there was some storms coming through South Central Correctional Center. It's getting stormy and rainy, and but it hasn't started raining yet. But the clouds were getting, sky was getting dark, And they said return to your housing units. They didn't tell us to lock down, just told us to return to our housing units. The yard was over. So, you had people wondering why they're telling us to go to the housing units. Some people was asking guards, and they never say. Many times they won't tell you. So, nothing happened. Why are you guys running us in? There's nothing going on. I usually in things like this, I don't say nothing because, it is what it is. They have their reasons. So we get in the housing unit, and they allow us to have wing rec. This is where you can take a shower, make phone calls, play spades, hang out. So we're doing that. And then they tell us, lock down now. And so, we don't know what's going on. And this guard comes in. He says, lock down, gentlemen. He says, we got tornadoes in the area. He said, I've been told to tell you to go to your cells, put your head between your legs, and kiss your asses goodbye. I kind of thought that was funny. And so did a few others. But most people, they didn't think it was funny at all. They wasn't amused. And, enough with the jokes. Yelling at him and stuff, And he didn't seem to care. He just laughing. So we get in the cell and like that, and we look out the window, and it is dark. And so we just keep watching, and already the news is talking about tornadoes have already been sighted in the area and stuff. And then we see one. I mean, you couldn't miss it, And it looked like it was headed right for us. me and my celly's watching it, and he was, man, maybe we ought to get under the bunk. I said, what's getting under the bunk gonna do? If it hits us, tear, what's gonna happen? I don't think, I said if it's strong enough to tear up this prison, I don't think we have any chances anyway. But anyway, before it gets to us, well, first of all, I need to say that this prison is built in a bowl. It's like they dug out like a bowl, and they built the prison in it. And I don't know if that was for things like tornadoes or because they didn't want to see in the town too well, or the town seeing us. Because the town, we're right next to the town. But we could always see the tops of buildings, that happen to be tall enough. But anyway, we see this tornado, and before it gets to us, before it makes it to us, it changes direction. I shit you not. And goes another way, and soon the storms were over. We was locked down the rest of the night anyway. We didn't come back out. But there was like 6 or 7 tornadoes in the area, we found out. And next to the prison, but connected to it, was the work release. They worked for MoDOT, Missouri Department of Transportation. And they had those guys out there just cleaning up, for days. The damage that was done. But everybody was talking about how that tornado avoided that prison. And this takes me back to, I used to hear, if they say, if a tornado or something picks you up and puts you on the other side of the prison, outside the prison, then they have to let you go because of the act of God. I never have believed that. Because what if a tornado comes through and just wipes out the prison? You have, let's say there's a bunch of prisoners that are alive. They could just run off. You think the state's just going to allow that to happen? No, they're going to have a manhunt until they get everybody. So I never have believed that. And still don't. They ain't just going to let, because a natural disaster, they ain't going to let you go. But everybody used to say, tornadoes never hit a prison. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never heard of tornado hitting an operational prison. I know that I don't know one hitting the Missouri State Penitentiary while it was a prison, but I do know after it was closed in May of 2019, it got hit by one. But there was no one in it. It was a museum. And they still haven't fixed it, A hall without a roof. Part of the wall's missing. But everybody's saying, well, it hit the prison because it's really no longer a prison. It's a museum, it's a tour guide place. If it was still operational, that tornado would have went around it. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it just seems like tornadoes never hit a prison. Now, the Missouri State Penitentiary is next to the Missouri River, and it has been flooded a few times. I mean, that's how close the river is. You have the river, train tracks, and then the prison. And sometimes part of the prison would get flooded. But not all of it, just like that real low part. Well, that's all I have for you today. And see you next time. Thank you.